Oops. There we are. Allow me to don my thinking cap. All right. Oh, big day. Big day today. Let's get right into it, shall we? So I made a beat. um, Currently titled El Chug. However, that will be changing to Jungle. And I'm not gonna say anything as I'm saying stuff. I guess we could throw the bus on there. Let's just listen to it. Right? Let's just see what we got. Let me play a snippet real quick. Just checking some volume. So it is rather loud for you people. You party animals. So I'll bring it down. This is, well, let's see what you think. Let me set it up so it follows. And yeah, here is Jungle. So that's Jungle. Um, where do I begin? Well, we begin with the namesake. Um, I'll chug. So, well, it must have been Saturday. I I have another beat in the works that, um, again, just working on like my bass, improving my bass, and I've really enjoyed mid tempo slash. I really do feel like this is industrial bass. It just fits. It just has so many techno elements. How is it not industrial bass? Um, but I've been digging the sound, and I wanted. I've been working on bass design to uh to fit that genre, and I've been coming up with some cool sounds, but it hasn't been like that cyberpunk sound I was going for. So on Saturday, and I was close to deviating, and I'm glad I didn't. I just focused all my energy, and I said, okay, I want to chase the cyberpunk sound, and I want to make that, just to prove that I can. So that's where our bass beat, cyberpunk beat came from, and that is this. Right? Chug, because it reminds me of like in metal and Metallica, the 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 palm muting, the chug they get on the low E string. They are famous for that, and just hair metal back in the days. Really, it's what started that. But um, yeah, I wanted to chase that sound, and I did. So I came up with that beat, and I was like, okay, that's cool. Um, then it started. I was like, okay, well, what do we do for the intro? And I wanted to go. What's it called? I think the genre is called dark synth. Um, initially wanted to do something like that, like the '80s style. Um, I'm confusing two genres. So dark synths is like what I'm about to talk about, but at this tempo. What I wanted to do was like the faster paced '80s. Um, what do you call it? Like take on me. Like that's an example. Um, is it not? Right, with like the rock kind of style drum, but very EDM. I initially wanted to do that, and you can see remnants of our kick pattern from that idea, and it just wasn't sounding good. So instead, I just scratched it and went straight techno. I made a what initially was a lead out of my cyberpunk bass, and then I just turned it into a straight bass, and gave it like it follows the main cyberpunk bass melody, but it's more spaced out and it feels more like techno. And so I just went four on the floor and leaned into the techno side of things, and I'm glad I did. Um, Fun, bouncy. I like that intro a lot. I had the breakbeat here just cause I like breakbeats initially. That's where that started. And then I wanted to add something, the calling card, if you will, to go along with our cyberpunk. And I found this sample from there's a techno pack that came out on Splice. That was actually pretty sweet. Got a lot of sounds. Here it is. Sennheiser. I mean, he slash them. I don't know. who's behind Sennheiser, but they understand techno and they make some cool samples. And I believe that's where I initially started several days ago with this pack. Never went anywhere with this, and then I believe this is my vocal chop that I get that comes in later on. Is it this? That's it. That's what it was. That hard techno style lead, except when we matched it to our melody, or sorry, to our pitch, all of a sudden it sounds like a monkey in the jungle to me. Monkeys in the jungle sounds like that's, maybe I'm wrong. Warning: 1 hour of monkey sounds. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Oh, that's a baby monkey, right? Just the hooping and hollering aspect to it. It reminded me a lot of a monkey. And then I was like, well, wait a second. Like, we could make this build up so much sicker. Right, that sample reminded me of being in a jungle. So I was like, why not sample Welcome to the Jungle? Why not, dude? It's iconic. Axl Rose's voice is unbelievable. And I really liked how that came out. And then we just had this section. I was like, wait a second, why don't we just do 8 bars of jungle? I've never made jungle. And I don't know if you could call this jungle. I hope so. I mean, it's got the sampling, the drum sampling. It serves as a break and brings us back down to speed. And that was another big thing. Like, how do I get from, it initially starts at 150 BPM. How do I get from 150 to 111, which is where the chug sits? I was like, well, let's go to 86 in between and run some jungle. And yeah, proud of that. And as a result, honestly, like when we come back up from 86 to 111, like all of a sudden our mid tempo, our slower beat actually sounds a bit faster. It's like kind of an illusion. It's a lot slower than the 150, but it doesn't sound that slow compared to the jungle. So yeah, the idea was, again, just going back to my Eli Brown set, and I know he's not hard techno, but I've been to 2 hard techno sets prior, and then Eli Brown for 5 hours. 5 hours of techno is a lot of techno, and just an hour and a half of hard techno is a lot of hard techno. And why not throw something in there that switches it up but still holds that industrial sound? And man, I feel like this is it, dude. I really do. Like, I don't know how this doesn't go stupid. You throw this in the middle of a techno set, oh my god, brother. Or like in SoCal Beyond, or Beyond SoCal, the Cheshire like Gardens or something like that. It's the middle stage, and at least when I went, that's where they were playing the fast, like 150. I think, I don't even know what genre they call it, but it's supposed to be like fast techno. Like what's his name? Creeds was playing there. If you know him, you definitely know one of his songs. But And occasionally, like they'd throw in a hard style there as well, which man, I really, really don't like hard style. But anyway, this BPM fits that vibe, the melody, and then and like you see people in those crowds just going so hard, brother. Give them a break, Just sprinkle this in, man. They will have no idea what hits them, and they're gonna love it. Um, has the drop has so many techno elements, man. Like it just, I'm really, really happy with how this. It's my favorite beat I've ever made, and we're not even like kind of close to done, which is crazy. So let's move on to what we're gonna work on today. Also, are we acknowledging how like kind of organized this project file is? Anyway, I'm done tooting my own horn. Today, what we're gonna work on is, well, our bass sounds are just pure serum, and they sound really good, which is wild. We've done no processing on our bass sounds. Look at that. Empty mixer on El Chug, and then on Retro we started, and then we didn't like it, so we kept tinkering with the noise or the sound. So first things first, I think we just get started on the bread and butter, the calling card, and that is El Chug itself. Don't have to do too much here. Because like I said, I already I really like where it's at. I will say one thing, listening to this on speakers, the hats, or there's frequencies in the bass that are clashing with the hats, and it's a little harsh. So I'm gonna take note of that. But in terms of the original sound, so let me give credit where credit's due. What did I even look up? Mid-tempo, I think it's mid-tempo bass serum. I've been perusing some videos on how to make this style, and this is the only dude that really has gone for what I want, or what I've been looking for. That's the bass. That's the cyberpunk. That's what we're going for. So, I've taken that preset and, well, one, I worked on it on another beat that you haven't heard yet, and then I've taken that preset and worked on it some more for this beat. Now, so we're a little derived from the original, but the fundamental is there. It's this cream wavetable with the gritty wavetable, unison, FM. In this case, we're FM all the way. Let's just solo out. I guess this is a bad section because we have that double kick there. A snake needs it's such a tiny thing to notice, but I moved this snake and I want it back to where it was. Yeah. Okay, so, ooh, I might need to use a bathroom. If you think you might need to, you probably just should. And so we're gonna do that before we get into it at all. Yeah, I'll be right back. Now, back to what I was saying. Let's work on our base a little bit. Wow. It's like, I'm not gonna lie, I've never quite felt like this with a beat before. I've made stuff obviously where I thought it was cool and I really like it, but like I almost feel like I need to be like handle this one with care because I feel like we actually really have something here. Um, so anyway, yeah, in terms of, I mean, there's already quite a bit of processing on the serum side of things. Is there anything we can clean up? Not really. Um, this was the main thing I added from the original. Oh, and the scream filter. The scream is this LFO handles quite a bit. It handles the scream one and the downsampling. The that is what gives this effect right here. I misplayed that. Right there. The like little rise at the end. Right. That's the scream kicking in, and I thought that's just a sick, easy effect that you can use on your bass. That didn't come with the original preset, and then again, this downsampling is actually from another beat, and we just reutilized it here. So it's good, and we're not really gonna touch it until we start throwing some processing on there, and then we'll revisit. So we're actually going to. So this is something that this is a practice we use in coding, but we're going to use it here too. We're going to branch off. So now I have an L chug and an L chug 2. We're going to save this as, well, one, we can just, hold on. We're going to save the, we're going to call it its actual name. We're calling this jungle. So let's save that, and then let's go delete I'll chug 2 and I'll chug, I believe. Right? And then, so now we have jungle. Now we're going to branch off of jungle. And we're going to call it jungle processing. Because I've found in making base, now it hasn't happened to me since too often since I've gotten better at making base, but something I've learned is you can absolutely break your sound that you originally had, and it feels almost impossible to get it back. So if we do our processing and tinkering on a branch file that's separate from our original file, then that leaves that original file intact, and we can just go back to it if we screw things up exponentially. Trying to be really careful with this one. I don't I don't want to mess this one up because it's really good. So yeah, let's start processing our lchug. And first thing to do is to clone it, right? Because, oh, almost just deleted it. First thing to do is clone it and clone the pattern. And we're gonna route it. We're gonna route the clone. I can speak, I promise. To insert 28. Move it over. And this is an easy way to separate our sub frequencies from our mid to high frequencies. So, because when you're adding a lot of processing, you don't want to touch the super low end. Because, yeah. Like distortion and stuff, I mean, distortion's mainly what we're going to be doing, and you don't want to distort low frequencies. You can't hear those frequencies anyways to the naked ear, so why would you distort them to try to make them hearable or audible, right? They never will be, and you're just damaging the quality of those low frequencies. So let's route lchug sub to the base. All right. And yeah. Ooh, I'm doing something gross right here. That's not good. That's not good at all. We need a new bus over on the left. I don't like how I did this then. Because right now I'm sending low frequencies to our reverb. That's not good. Oh, but no, we don't have an EQ there. We could, honestly, we could just solve this with EQ. If we just throw an EQ on our hall, that should do it. Might screw some things up in some sections, but we'll deal with that when it comes to it. This is just the cleaner solution, I think. Like so. Wait a second. Yeah, we didn't even have a low cut or anything. So we'll do it there too for added security. We'll say 200 hertz. I mean, like, you really don't need anything lower than 250, right? Where's that? Yeah, I mean, you really don't. I don't think. You look lovely. No, you do. No, you do. Boo-boo. Yeah, I'd appreciate a like, too. Can you spare a like? Spare likes? Yeah, buddy, this beat is disgusting. We're hitting new strides over here. Anyway. That should work. We're just gonna go ahead and throw El Chug sub in mono. It should already be, but you can't be too careful. And yeah, so if we go into our, well, one, let's rename this. And that allows us to do some cool things with the pattern. So on the high pattern, I like that it goes up an octave here. I don't think we should be doing that on the sub. It just doesn't sound as good as it could, you know? I think the sub should really stay in its lane. So let's fix that. Yeah. And now one, let's get some EQ going on our sub. Brick wall that thing, and we'll say $75's just been a really good number for me as of late. So yeah, we're gonna do that. And same thing here, we're gonna cut out everything 75 and above. Trying to get that. I wish this would get off my screen. Trying to get that right there. We want to leave that in and take everything else out. There it is. And now we can truly get started. And I could, like, technically do my processing on this bass channel. Not gonna do that. Because I have different basses in the song. So I want to treat them individually. And first things first, let's warm it up. It's already rather warm. Well, let's warm it up just a little bit more. And a couple ways we can do that. I'm always going to go to I'm always going to go to sugar first. As of right now. And let us push some mids, right? Because that's all we have with this high version of El Chug. Don't sound too shabby. That sounds pretty good to me. Let us move our EQ down. So here we can bring out some elements. And again, I mentioned, and we can see why. I mentioned that we were clashing a bit with our hats, and you can see why. This is just too much going on here. So let's bring this little section down. Like 6 dBs. Right? I mean, the highs really, they should be enough to cut through, which they are. But they don't need to be up there, so much so that they're clashing with hats. That's no bueno. Then we'll search for any like rough frequencies. Okay, not really getting anything. So let's look for frequencies to boost. And the only thing I'm really looking for there is a frequency that sounds in tune. So that little spot seemed to be following along consistently with the melody, and on top of that, that's an area that wasn't as strong, you know, and now it feels like it is. Just a little, you know, extra harmonic in there, and maybe, just maybe, oh wait, it probably will. I think OTT is going to bring that out even more, so that's the idea there. Let's see what happens. You never really know how it's going to take shape. Where, you also don't know where, there it is, where OTT is. All right, let's take a listen. That's pretty nice. We will tweak some of these. So I've been having success with this like -3 on the mids. And then upwards a little bit for sure. I feel like I get much more of the knock when I do the upward. And that's about it. We're not, you know, nothing super crazy here. It's just warmth right now. Now we're going into seeing if we can make it a little more aggressive. And I'm going to start with some Blood Overdrive. This could be bad. This could be really bad. But you don't know until you try. Where'd my bass go? It's gone. Wowzers. I don't hate that. Here's the real test though. Let's see how it holds up in Sausage. Yup. Right now it feels very like OTT, which is like good. Like a lot of the industry is just so bright. Also, oops, before we throw another OTT on there, let us EQ yet again. Again, just gonna cut out everything below 75. Again, gonna tame this area just slightly. And we are severe. This is probably where our notch filter is. That's feeling chonky. Let us OTT again. We're not looking to transform the sound, right? Because I really liked how it was just in Serum. We're just trying to enhance it, make it a little more aggressive. Now if there's like it's the blood overdrive. I'm just not digging it. So as a result, we're gonna reintroduce that that color from the sausage. Can I get some bloody sausage? And then it just sounds like a good frequency. I'm just gonna six a sausage for my aggression, really. Like, it just sounds so good. And that's gonna do it for that. And now we can go and retweak our actual wave here. Now, so first things first, I want it to be a little more plucky. And I'm not sure, it might be the release that's doing. There it is. Okay, that sounded nicer. Let's mess with our cutoff. Whoa. Do you hear that sound? That's interesting. So our little effect here only really works unless we probably have to tweak where the scream filter is. I think we let it breathe a little bit. I think that's fine. That feels enough like a pluck, but also lets it breathe. So I think that's a good spot for it. It feels good, personally. Also, oh, that's good. That's sounding pretty good, guys. Now we have imaging going on our bass bus. We might look to fix it. Am I tripping, or like keeping the higher stuff actually closer? I'm liking it. Or am I tripping? I'm tripping, aren't I? I like that. I want to keep it a little, this area. I want to keep it a little closer. So I like that. I'm liking how that's sounding. Now, that's sounding pretty goddamn good. Let's listen to it in context. That's why you don't just mute individual things, because then you have to go back in here and unmute them manually. Ugh. Let's go ahead and listen. That's actually fine. I like that we don't have the sub version in here as for the build up. It's so much louder now. Which I guess should have been expected by me. Oh, blue balled you. My bad. It's so much louder than everything right now. we agree things are feeling chunkier? Yeah. Yeah, I like how that sounds. Now, second, let's start processing our techno chug, a retro chug, if you will. This needs work. Let us... Also, hold on. Before we completely abandon ship, is there any, like, other tweaks to the actual serum file? And that could be in the form of anything, really. Can't tell if I like it lower or higher on the cutoff. Lower feels more controlled for sure, but are we going for controlled or are we going for nasty, bro? Feels like a really good spot for it. That just does feel like a good spot for it. Now, what if we do... Not as cool, right? We go -2. That loses all meat. So we're fine with that. And then what does this thing even do? We use this on our the saw. We use this on our... I see. It's helping with our... Honestly, not really. I think we're free to use this oscillator if we want to. And why not, dude? Let's see if we can get an extra, like... We're missing, like, a octave 0. We're missing that frequency range. Let's see if we can get something in there. I'm down with the saw. We already got the digital stuff going. Why not just go saw? And let's start removing some of these modulators. We really don't use this. I was going to say until the retro chug, but I feel like we don't even really use it there either. Oh, that's right. Okay. Okay, that's giving us some much needed mids. Might be too much. I don't like that. I'm a big fan. It doesn't do too much, which it doesn't have to, but I feel like that really just kind of colored in the lines a little bit. I like that. Okay, El Chug is in a really good spot. Let us move on to Retro Chug, which needs some work for show. I want to lean into more of the, I like how bassy it is, but I want to lean into more of the like lead aspect, which is what I think I try to do with this oscillator. I just feel like it's not doing anything. We have to crank it for sure, and maybe, honestly, we're gonna remove some of these. That's how we're getting our width here. Is there like phase cancellation happening? What is going on? It's dying, which absolutely could be, it could be cancellation. This might just not be a good wave table. Jungle 808, I mean, it's in the name. Wow, shit starts getting weird with this one. No. Okay. What is controlling our cutoff? Are we plucky enough? Like that. I like that a lot. And this wavetable is just not doing anything for me right now. So let's find one that does some square action. Maybe. I just realized we're missing like the -1 octave, so maybe that's where we should be living instead. Don't love that. I need, you know what? Maybe we, yeah. Maybe we assign this to our level. No, not like that. That might do it. I think we need a little bit of a longer envelope for that, though. I like that. Am I hearing cancellation? Also, why has no one caught me? We didn't do anything to our LChug sub. And for that, we can absolutely just use our sub. That's disgusting. Let us fix the pattern. Because I'm hearing, well, one, it's a sub, right? So you don't need to go crazy with the notes here if you can avoid it. So that's fine, but like here we can just extend that. Extend that. Extend that. That as well. Right, that should be better. Extend this and this. Extend this. Extend this and keep that. Extend this. And that looks good. And then we can just copy it over. Yup. Cool. That should help matters. I'm not sure what I'm hearing. Sounds cool, but I'm not sure if it's... bleeding happening? That's what it sounds like. Or maybe we're clipping somewhere. That's probably the more obvious answer. Nowhere internally. I've done no processing into it. Interesting. I'm not sure what I'm hearing. But it shouldn't impact us too much, so let's continue on. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Let us go back to retro. So, what I have not done yet is split this thing up. Clone it. You know the drill. Retro sub. We're going to call this L sub. I like that. Doesn't really matter, but it makes me happy. Let us get it on its own channel. You know the drill. That should do her. Yep, 29. And let's move it on over. Retro sub. Let's get retro sub routed to our base. Yup. Mono. And let's split it up with some ProQ4. Boom. Give me 75. $75 should work. Again, we're going to eliminate the octave notes. Nice, and now we can just crank the sub. Let us split up our retro chug. Using some ProQ4 at 75. That should be good. And then, right, let's go to our pattern. Let's take these octave notes and bring them on down. Nobody needs that. Also, let's extend some of these notes where it fits. I had two notes bleeding into each other. That's not good. Maybe that was intentional? I don't think so. I like that. And then it's not the exact same here. But pretty much. Here we can extend these. Don't need to roll this thing. Nice. Go ahead and copy this over to chug and lead. Boom. That's good. At least it should be. Oh, excuse me. And then I'm sleepy. I was up working on this for too long. I actually finished at a good time, but I was listening to it for far too long last night. What is this perk? That might be the... Anyway, sidetracked. Let's go ahead and eliminate the undesirables. And just leave our sub. Nice. Alright, and now, like, is Retro Chug even in a place where I want it yet? I guess this is gonna be the thing where we go and process it and then come back and tweak it again, I think. So let's go ahead and start doing that. Let's warm it up. You already know. Give me some sugar. Where you at? Thank you. Gonna go, honestly gonna go synth here. Bass cut through. Great. I feel like 300 here is kind of a sweet spot. No, man, it's not. What am I missing here? Well, one, we're cutting. I see why. That's a pretty... So why did we boost the highs just to cut them again? That was silly. Does this drive really need to be 100%? So much cleaner. So much cleaner with just that one little change. And now, is it like that on my El Chug? Surely not. It is. Wow. Well, it sounds good, so I'm not gonna mess with that. That's shocking. What if we do a different filter here? What if we do like low 12? I want more of the highs cutting in. I think we might have just found it. I think we just found it. Oh my god, you know what that sounds like, bro? That sounds like... I might be off here. But I think it sounds like some West End. I really like his, rhythm. Okay, maybe not this one. Definitely this one, though. That little, like... How do you describe it? It's the width that we're giving it with this this unison, but man. Now it feels like a fucking techno lead. Thank you. Okay. But it still has that strong bass to it. No, dude. And then that's pure pluck. What does this sound like in context? Wow. Wow. That sounds really good. And with the phaser kicking in, that sounds sweet. Now we can probably come back here. Okay, so it was sugar that's making that happen. Listen to this. That is sweet. Now we continue with our processing. Now it's in like a state where I actually enjoy it. Man, that feels like techno. That feels like techno. I wonder, do we start downsampling now? Oh my god. That might be disgusting. Oh, it might just be. It kind of has the feel like we might. Oh my god. Hold the phone. I think we messed with the notch too. Does it kind of die? I feel like we're losing, which is true. I feel like we've lost a lot of the plot. What's giving us so much noise here? Wow. This noise is really screwing things up. Listen to this. This was at 50%. I mean, okay. I do have my sub going. That's an atonal noise I just had playing for no reason whatsoever. It makes me want to go take it out of El Chug, which we were doing the same thing. Why, brother? Why? Just pay a little bit of attention. And you're like, why am I doing that? I'm taking it off of everything. Very cool. Very, very cool. Now it feels kind of what I was going for. I didn't know I was going for this, but here we are. Let's move forward. Let us, so we cut. Is there anything we want to boost or take away? Probably this. Honestly, didn't reduce much of anything. Let's see what OTT brings out of it. I mean, I really like how it sounds right now. So hopefully we don't absolutely butcher it here. I imagine we won't. That is mean. Oh my goodness. Now it feels like a lead. Now it feels like it really matches the section. Wow. Okay. Some aggression. Some aggression. Not too much. All right, let's find out. This might get really gross. Apart from the gain boost. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh. I'm gonna not add too much color. It's already so colorful. Thank you for the like. Appreciate you. It helps a lot. Which we're popping off on YouTube, by the way. First 100 or 100 views on a video. You were here before it was cool. Also, did I? No. All right. Let's take out anything unnecessary. Do I need to be taking this out? This is where Pro Q4 is elite. I can just... No, we're good. If we... Well, hold on. If we go... Oop. Oh, we're raving. Thanks for raving with me. Let's, I guess, another OTT. It really doesn't. tell me if you've heard that lead before, because I haven't. A bass lead? Brother, what are we doing over here? Just out of a bedroom. I mean, shit, I haven't heard that. That's in a good spot, man. It's in a really good spot. Let's hear it in context. Oh, this is something, man. This is something. Okay. So next, we're gonna work on this lead. I should be this rave siren, if you will. You initially hear it there, and it's pretty much right now just a preset that I got from Splice. I didn't do much of anything to it. Kind of fades in using the sync, and then we could add, it's not moving at all, which is good. It shouldn't move too much. I added this delay. Looks like they cut out some highs, which I personally wouldn't. Yeah, and then actually, no, it's a good call. And then little chorus, how much they do. $50. Honestly, if we throw an LFO on it, like a bar should work. I can't. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of the modulator then, or the macro. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of the macro, and then we're gonna set it to like 40, and then use this to automate it to about like 70, 69. It's a really good number. There's an interesting dude bowling next to me and my mom today, and he I just got like two strikes or something, and my score still hadn't added up, because when you get a strike, it waits to see what else you get to finally tally your score. So I was a couple frames ahead from when I had the score, but he just noticed it and he's like, "Oh, 69. I guess I had 69." He's like, "That's a great number." It's like, yeah, it is. It's a really, really good number. uh, dude was a character. Anyway, why do we have this reverb that does nothing? It could be interesting to automate that. I'm not sure. There's something already attached, and I don't know what it is. Filter 1 frequency. No. I actually have no idea. Could be a macro. Oh, depth. Is that what it is? It is. Yeah. No, we're just going to get rid of that, and I think we're going to automate it, because that's actually kind of a cool effect. What happens if we put it after the hyper? Okay, I think we're going to use... What about this? Okay. Wrong envelope, or wrong LFO for that, I guess. You know something? This one could be interesting. No, is my conclusion. That's the right idea. We're just gonna make our own. Was it this? Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. And then let's try it before the hyper again. Okay, it is. It's way better before the hyper. And now I think we need another like layer in there. Let's go with another saw. That's the problem. I see. So we have this. That needs to be automated. That's sweet. Okay. Adding that high layer. Hold on. That's pretty nice. Okay. And that should do her for that. I think. It's already a really good sound. Out of the box, just some minor tweaks that we want to do, and then we're gonna process as well. So let's do that, and it is right here. Just some sugar at first, and then we'll go from there. We'll go synth, and we will go personality. Yeah. I want more width, and right now I'm just using the standard FL stereo separation. I think I need to do more than that. Let's us do some EQing. We won't do a brick wall, but right, it feels like shrill right now, which it shouldn't, because we want it to be big, not tiny and weak. How's this sound in the cyberpunk beat? Sounds pretty good. I actually really like that high octave that we added. Allows us to preview it a little bit more before it lands. That's pretty cool. It just dies too quickly. Can we do something about that? And it's this, right? It's this LFO that's causing that to happen. So let's fix it. We'll go 4 bars instead. Keep the same shape. So that's when it's going to start to tail off, and we're going to do something like that. Where'd it go? Am I tripping? It's just disappearing. That's better. Okay, that's in a good spot. And just a little smidge of OTT. Any more and it absolutely kills the sound. Cool. That's pretty good. That is pretty good right there. And then what else did I want to touch? Probably our screech, right? Oh, so that new LFO for the lead is going to cause us problems here, which is fine because I don't think it worked anyways. So we'll revert it back. And the screech actually sounds pretty good, dude. So we don't want to do too much to it. This EQ is currently doing nothing. Again, we're just gonna a little bit of sugar. I don't even, I guess synth. It's not really a synth. Could go vocal probably. Vocal's probably the move. Is that going to be so loud? In the jungle, baby! That sounds pretty good. And then we're just going to OTT. Well, hold on. A little EQ first and foremost. Right about there. Wow. And then, yeah, OTT. Honestly, just brought down the highs a little bit. It was already so bright. And then this little transition, I like how we used this, right? That feels like something a DJ would do. It's just maybe this we don't need. Maybe we just extend it or something. This transition just feels, and like, obviously, it's gonna feel a little weird going from jungle to Cyberpunk, but we're gonna try to make it as seamless as possible. So if we extend it out, we could probably do something with the pitch here, which I believe it's this. It's not that. Okay, well, I thought it was. Where do we think it is? Jungle? It is. Okay. So we can do... Let's do... let's start with pitch, actually. How's that good? This might sound weird. I'm thinking we go down. Okay, that's a little better. That's a little better already. Okay. How's this sound? Way better. way better. Oh my god. Okay. And I was gonna say maybe volume automation as well, but the pitch sounds so good. I mean, that sounds clean. Okay, that was simple. Nice. Nice. Shit, dude. Could do a little boring stuff here. And that is Retro Trug Macro 5. What do we think that is? Well, it's a macro on Retro Chug. And it's number 5. What does it control though? The sustain. What? Interesting. I didn't realize I actually used that. Okay, well, we're gonna experiment here now. Okay, well, if I wanted it to rise anywhere, it would be going into the jungle break. And I'm not sure if it sounds better down or up. Mute some stuff here. I feel like maybe our lead is dying. Our retro lead. I should just call it retro because we have another lead here. Our retro is dying, it feels like. So let's mute up and solo it. Except for the kick. Is it not dying here? It feels like it starts dying here. How would that be? I guess it might not. It might be, I might be tripping, but it sounds like it's weaker in this section. And I'm not sure why that would be the case. It would have to be in the pattern because that's the only thing that changes. And that doesn't change here, so I don't. But if anything, it's partially dying, quote unquote. Might be a good thing because we introduce the lead. This section just feels like it's lost a lot of power for me. And maybe that's due to our new sound design. How can we improve that? Well, okay, well, that's one thing. So we moved this octave up one. We moved it back down just now, and I think that's already helping some. What sounds better? So I had like an idea for the section. I don't know how we. I don't have Satriani. Is he on my metal? He might not be on anything. This feels like Surfing with the Alien. And I wonder if there's anything we can incorporate from here. song was. Oh my god. Wow. Just get it more. Honestly, moving that down an octave and then moving this saw up an octave, I feel like that's done wonders already. It feels powerful again. So I do some imaging here, which is like typical of Cyberpunk. It feels like with the kicks, the stereo field goes mono and then releases after the kick. I wonder if this could apply here. It might not at all. It kind of feels like it works, right? I wonder how that's going to impact our lead. Let's find out. Stay tuned. Also, we didn't do this sustain at all. Dude, we could actually... Hold on. This could get really gross out of nowhere. If we use this macro to, like, highlight some notes, this could get super gross. Like that's a good candidate right there. That first sustained note in this pattern. What if we do that? Now I have Surfing with the Alien stuck in my head. Okay, well that's actually not a good candidate due to our little effect. It works actually. I kind of want to highlight these two. I feel like it's not doing much. Now, why would that be the case? Why do I feel like it's not doing much of anything? Like... Oh, it actually does. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, okay. And then do the same exact thing here. So it's not going to get as gross as I thought, but this is actually a nice little way to accent certain things. That's cool. Maybe not this one, because the chop comes in. Yeah, and then what if we start this one out with it instead? I feel like it's not. Oh, maybe I need to attach it to the decay as well. Ooh, can you imagine? I don't know if it's doing anything. We're gonna bypass here. I'm not sure if it's actually doing anything. Okay, it is such a slight difference, but hey, I actually do like what it's contributing. What am I hearing? Is that my car? It is not. Yeah. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. And then this is so gross. I think maybe I bring the screeches down a little bit in this section. I'm gonna bring this one down. Okay, so the screech, this last screech bleeds over into the drop. Okay, I think we need to nail this build up a little more. I think it needs to be tighter. The bass goes away just slightly too quickly. Yeah. By the way, can we appreciate Axl Rose? This is no processing on my end. This is just pure. Well, okay. I EQ'd to get rid of some harsh frequencies. That's it. Just some EQing. And this is just pure Axl Rose. I cloned it to give it a little more width. But dude. And I bring down the volume here so it blends in with the rest of the elements. But holy shit, dude. Like, never a huge Guns N' Roses guy. Knew I could play Sweet Child of Mine right now if I wanted to. Like every guitar player learns how to play that song. And then for a hot minute I knew how to play Welcome to the Jungle. I was never a huge fan of his voice, just never a huge fan of their music. But dude, massive respect. This guy turned his voice into a riser. Like just naturally, just recording it. That's crazy. That's a riser. That's a riser in itself, and he just did it in the booth. That's insane. I was like, well, like typically the EDM thing to do here is like pitch up or, but he's already doing that. So why would I touch it? It's so good. I just thought I had to point that out. I didn't quite, I don't know. When you think of like great metal vocalists of all time, I guess some people would instinctively put him up there. I never would have. I'm coming around. Oh my god. Just cutting that little reverb tail, this drop hits so fucking hard now. Oh my goodness. Okay, actually in a really good spot. Let's do some slight mixing, if you will. And that's gonna be with our buses. So we already got an EQ on the hats. Nice. We already got one on the perks and some compression on the perks. Nice. And then we have a bus compressor on our drums. While that's nice, I feel like maybe things could get a little tighter. Go ahead and listen to it. We're just gonna listen to the drums for a minute. I think our groove hats are just a little sharp for me right now. Just a little too sharp is a good word. And let's see why that may be the case. I mean, it's so... It was just so... That's the tone. That's the tone that was doing it today. Yeah, I'm just gonna bring those down slightly. Also, our glitchy perk, I think, has some bass in it. And it does. We can get rid of that. Clean it up just slightly. Now I think it's already going to our perks, so it should be fine. Yeah, you hear how those lows start creeping in? Don't like that. Okay. But in terms of like width, does everything sound like it's fitting? I feel like the hats could be tighter. I really do. The rides may be skewing that for me. Hold on. Honestly? It does. Let's throw a compressor on there. It sounds kind of nice. What if we just use OTT as our... What if we just put OTT on literally everything ever and it'll just make it better? That should do her. And then we'll just have to adjust the levels, which we can do. What's happening? I'm like glitching out here. Probably have too many plugins open. Now, I think we have a OTT. I feel like I want to put a bus compressor as well. And we're going to do that on the stuff that's going into the hall, because there's so much stuff. We need to reactivate some things here as a result. The screech, the texture, and the chop. Yeah. There's just a lot going in here. And while I like it to be wide... Ooh. Maybe I don't compress. Maybe I just image. Ooh. I don't know why I didn't think about that. Let's just image our reverb to make sure everything's going where I want it to. That sounds good. Let's take a look. Now, there shouldn't be any There shouldn't be any frequency down here. Somehow there is, and that terrifies me. Let's throw an EQ on then, prior to the imager. Because how is there ever stuff that's creeping through? Okay, it's not. The imager lied to me. That's cool. I thought we were buds. Clearly we aren't. So I'll use, it looks like the stuff in the hall starts about 200. So I'm going to use this band 1 here for everything that we don't want, or everything that doesn't exist. And then band 2. That's like the stuff that adds like minimal value. So we can keep it. We're gonna keep that stuff like genuine or generally down the middle. Like this. That looks good. Right? That looks like a hall. This. This is like our danger zone, essentially. So, do we want it super wide? How's this sound? There goes the lead. The lead is like non-existent now, thanks to that imaging. So that feels pretty good. There we go. You know what? I think I'm gonna do something here. I think I need to volume automate the screech, just because it's a problem when you're dealing with wet samples, like already wet samples, and then you make them even more wet. Pause. You run into issues here. And now the reverb trail on this screech sample is so bright, and I think the best way, at least certainly a way to combat that, is some volume automation. So let's see. We'll keep it at, and if you're using FL, obviously my mom, Ragai, and Nate, they're not using FL, but if anyone sees this VOD, then you're who I'm talking to. If you're using FL, always, if you're going to use volume automation, first of all, try not to a lot of the time, but a lot of the time it is just the best route. So if you have to use it, which I feel like here we do, where is our screech? Here it is. always, 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 let me make sure it's on screen. Automate this knob, this volume knob, instead of going into your mixer. And let's say finding our Screech channel here and automating this. Do not do that. Always, always, always automate this one, because like right now is a great example. This mix is not final. It's nowhere near final. So why would I automate this when I'm probably going to want to come back here and fine tune these levels? You know, it causes you way more hassle than it's worth. So just a little food for thought. So we're just going to do it using that knob, and this should work. And as a result, I want this Screech to be belligerent, but also it needs to make way for other elements. And if we start to get it away, out of the way like that, see, now all of a sudden we can hear the lead coming in way cleaner. All right, that's massive. Good improvement there. Versus before, that was pretty much non-existent. Yeah, so we're not gonna just leave it. We're going to do pretty much the same. Bring it down and then bring it immediately back up. And then bring it back down again, honestly. Like that. That feels like a good pattern. We can see how this fares in the jungle section. I imagine it's not going to be nearly as effective. Well, that's right. Okay, so we're going to need... I can afford to tweak this, I think. Yeah, it just needs to come down again here, which is fine. Okay. We're cooking with gasoline. Now, we'll do it again there. We're just going to insert another channel here. Or another track. Who am I kidding? Cool. Do that, and then we'll just do the same here. Yeah. might take it away for this one. Wow. This could be a little cleaner. This little, I really don't know how to leave this, but I think the answer is to just get rid of the bass. That feels awkward as fuck. But this feels awkward as hell. I don't like it. Maybe we just let it play out with some high passing going on. Maybe that'd be better. Maybe. Like here. That's the problem. If you let it play out, it just gets so loud with the kick. But maybe I pass the kick as well. Maybe that should move. And instead of just doing the bass high pass, we can do the bass and kick. Oh. But I don't like it. I don't like it. I think maybe I like it. Maybe just 2 bars. Maybe that is the move. Maybe that's it. That feels better. Forgot what our first section sounded like. Hold on. I just had a awakening. This could be bad. I just gotta preface it with that. But what if? How's this sound? I think I like this. Wait. Wait a second. Yeah. Yes. How's that sound? It's just a slight, like a slight detail, but I think that's the way to go. Do these little sharp plucks. That feels gross. The lead still needs more width. Now, how do I do that? I mean, we have chorus. What's controlling you? What's controlling our... Oh, is it the hyper? Oh. Well, there's literally a width macro that I wasn't utilizing. So much better. So much better. Thank you. That is Fuego. Alright. I think we are going to leave it for the day. That sounds like that ancient rave TikTok, whatever that mouth contraption is that they... it's like a... It's an instrument. I'm not sure what you call it. Well, didgeridoo? No clue. That sounds a lot like it. Anyway. Let's get one last listen to it. So something that I want to fix there. Where is... Is it the Hall high pass? It's gotta be. It's the kick and bass high pass, isn't it? let's take one last listen. And then call it a day. Stopping it again. If there's anything I'd change, I just want to make it a little bit tighter. But the problem is, if I image this, it's going into base, which is already being imaged. So let's see. Let's try, at least. It's just, like, while I want it to have width, I don't want it to be as wide as it currently is. I don't think. Again, like, throw it at 75. Throw this. You see what I mean? I mean, this is a pretty bassy range, and it is all over the place currently. We need that tighter. That feels better. 200, and then this is way too wide of a range. This is where we can afford to get wide, absolutely. Okay, I think I like that a lot better already. Let's try again. All right, one last listen through. And then honestly, creatively, I think the beat's done. Like, I think it serves its purpose. It's an absolute weapon to throw in the middle of a techno set. And it doesn't need to be much more than it is, because as it stands right now, it leaves you wanting more, and I think that's a good place to be, right? It's only, in reality, it's only 2 minutes 7 seconds, but with the little trail off here, it's 2:24. We get a lot across in 2 minutes and 24 seconds, and I think that's pretty sweet. If I, further down the road, if we start getting more, or I should say when we start getting like actual mixes out there, we'd extend a beat like this to give us something a little more leeway when it comes to mixing. But creatively and like for something to upload, I think this is a really good spot. Let us, pending the mix and master, right? Which mixing we've kind of been doing along the way, but still needs more attention, and then we haven't even touched mastering yet. Let me know what you think. I love this beat. Again, let's listen to it one last time. Wowzers, I think is the only adequate thing you can say. This is fun, dude. It's a fun one. Yeah, when we come back tomorrow, I think we just nail mixing and mastering. Honestly. Try to get it in its best possible state. We're gonna go ahead and save as jungle as well. But yeah, dude, this is it's a good one. It's a good beat. That'll do her. Let me go ahead and export here. Throw the limiter back on. You know the vibes. Go ahead and export. Get her on my phone, on my line. Yeah, sorry to just drop the speed on you out of nowhere. I've been working on it all weekend. Well, I've been working with some Cyberpunk, and here it is. Here it is. Surprise! We're doing a new genre. Like honestly, here's my view. Early days on Cyberpunk, industrial base, whatever you might call it. Base heads should like it, right? It has those base elements, and it's heavy. It's very ravey. Techno heads, especially fast hardcore tech or hard techno, should like it. It has a lot of elements of techno. So if there was ever a middle ground between the bass scene and the rave scene, like, and what I mean by that is like the fast, not hard style, but you know, the fast techno that you hear and the hard techno that you hear at raves. If there was ever a middle ground, this beat feels like it, bro. Like, man, and like, I don't know. And just the casual listener that doesn't even really know what EDM is or the different genres, like, man, I feel like I feel like we have something here, dude. But yeah, let me get it in my Dropbox. Man. And like what an introduction into jungle if you've never heard of jungle. Right? Anyway. Just blabbering at this point. I am tired, so I'm gonna call it there. But yeah. Thanks for joining me. Hope you like it. I know I do. It's my personal favorite at the moment. Can I close you? Thank you. This has been good, productive, and I'm glad. I'm happy to share this beat with you guys. I will.